Hello and welcome to Connections with Danielle. We are fully embraced in spooky season this week and got a little true crime and also maybe some paranormal visuals as you go through the newsletter. But you know, we all love those podcasts and shows and the spooky vibe until maybe it happens to us in our homes and we have a tragedy or something happen where we might have to have a cleanup in our homes, and we kind of go, oh my goodness, who is going to pay for this? Does my insurance pay for this? How is it going to happen? Who's going to help me? Well, today I'm going to turn it over to Franklin. He's going to talk to you about if a crime takes place in your home and how the insurance helps you with that. And then Nick Tyson of PuroClean of Olathe, one of my really good friends. He and Jamie, his wife, own PuroClean of Olathe, and he is going to talk to us about the process and how to give him a call and what to do and what not to do if you do have something like that happen in your home. So, you know, as long as it's not happening to us, we do love to embrace the spooky season. And my favorite podcast is the Morbid Podcast. If you are not listening, go check it out. They do some great storytelling for true crime and the spooky vibe. Thank you. Hope to see you next week at some events. And my birthday is tomorrow. Come join us at Vibe Ultra Lounge. Have a great day.
Hi, Franklin Tire here, local American Family Insurance agent here in Olathe, Kansas, last 40 years. Today's vlog, we got kind of a odd question. The question is, what happens if there's a home invasion? How does my homeowner's insurance cover that? And that type of thing. And then they go on to ask, what if somebody is injured or somebody's killed in the process of that? What occurs? So your homeowner's insurance is going to cover the invasion. If they kick in the door or anything like that, you know, that's going to be covered with your homeowner's policy. Let's say, for instance, though, during the home invasion, the guy's in your house and you shoot and mortally wound him, there would be coverage for the cleanup and that type of thing. So those are some things to keep in mind. You know, as always, your insurance policy covers a lot of stuff, but when in doubt, always have a talk with your agent. Hope this helps and have a great spooky Halloween.
So today we are here with Nick Tyson, PuroClean of Olathe. Nick and his wife Jamie have owned the business for
4 years.
4 years. And I have had contact with these guys for the whole 4 years. You saw Jamie in a previous video talking about water loss when we were getting a whole lot of rain. But today we are going to embrace our spooky side and talk to Nick about biohazard cleanup, because sometimes we do have those questions. So Nick, what should a client do if they have a tragedy or just something happen where they have had a biohazard mess or cleanup that needs to be done? What should they do before or not do before they call you?
So before they call PuroClean, they should first talk with law enforcement, make sure that the scene is clear to be cleaned. There may be an investigation, there may be things that need to be looked at or collected by detectives, and after that the scene has been cleared, we can come in and begin the mitigation.
So I know, unfortunately, I've had experience with this and had somebody come in and clean it that didn't know what they were doing. Should they have somebody try to clean it before they call you, or you just want to come in straight away?
We want to come in straight away. We would prefer that the insured or whoever else is at the property does not contaminate or cross-contaminate or spread the contamination elsewhere. It's very easy to track biohazardous material from the affected area onto some other unaffected area, make the problem much worse. Also, it's easy to do that unknowingly.
Right, absolutely. So, Nick, I know you've been doing the biohazard cleanup for the whole time, or is that newer service?
It's the last 2.5 years once we got certified.
Okay, and that's a great thing, and because I know you guys did a lot of training for your certification. And what can you give us a little bit of an example of the cleanup process?
So the cleanup process begins usually with a assigned scope of work or a service authorization that allows us to work on the property, ensures that we will get paid, and also it's a contract with the insured or whoever's there that we're going to agree to perform these services. The next step is that we come in and we assess the situation. We look at what happened, where it happened, what is affected. If there's contamination on the floor, walls, furniture, we need to document all that. Documentation is very important. It's probably the most important thing when dealing with insurance, because if things aren't documented, if they're not photographed, you can't get paid for your work. And then there's no recourse if a homeowner decides to do it themselves and it costs them a bunch of money. Their insurance carrier is going to say, well, you didn't call a professional, we're sorry about that. So the next step is initial decontamination. So we use an EPA registered disinfectant that's available to hospitals. We don't use bleach or any of the other stuff you see on TV. We do a broad spectrum decontamination of the area. And depending on the level of contamination, we may be using PPE, definitely gloves, second pair of gloves. Depending on the level, we may put on a trauma suit, something to protect us and our workers from possible pathogens, contamination. We may also don a respirator with HEPA filtration or HEPA filtration odor control, such that it's much more comfortable to work in some situations. At that point, we would begin the cleaning process. So for porous materials, carpet, flooring, furniture, contents, all that stuff needs to be documented, needs to be bagged, double bagged, and put into special hazardous waste disposal bags, such that we can transport those to a proper state registered facility for proper disposal. After that, we begin the cleaning process, which again starts with another broad spectrum decontamination, and then the cleaning process begins. Depending on the type of contamination, we may use various types of degreasers to break down proteins or other matter that we can essentially scoop up. We can collect it, we can put it in regulated medical waste bags, and then we can box it up, double bag it, and get that ready for transport. After that, we do another disinfection and then another cleaning process, which is basically similar to the first cleaning process. We may use a different set of chemicals. A lot of times one set of chemicals works great for the initial part, another set of chemicals for the final cleaning. We do have chemicals and processes that can tell us if there's any contaminated residue left over. So we like to keep cleaning until we get it all. And then depending on what happened, maybe some type of deodorization process. Depending on where it happened, when it happened, we could do thermal fogging. We can run ozone, which can break down odor-containing materials down at the atomic level and neutralize them and make them safe. During the mitigation process, we may run HEPA filtration, working with porous materials. A lot of times, pathogens, bloodborne contaminants can become aerosolized and spread in the air. We don't want that spread throughout the property, so we establish barriers and containment. We use HEPA air filters, which would trap that material in there, prevent any cross-contamination into the unaffected areas. We repeat this process until the scene or property is clean. Then we bag everything up. We remove our protective gear inside out. We doff it, put it in the regulated medical waste container, and then we're basically done.
And see, that is a process that normal cleaning, even professional cleaners can't do. That definitely, you guys, if that happens, call a professional, call Nick.